Lucas, like most people, worked a regular office job. His life wasn't bad. It was steady, familiar, predictable. He worked hard, showed up every day, and tried to do things right. Like most people, he carried his responsibilities, deadlines, meetings, expectations, unspoken pressure to always do better. That evening, after a long day, a comment at work by his colleague replayed in Lucas's head. It wasn't loud. It wasn't dramatic. It was said casually, almost carelessly. That afternoon, during a meeting, a colleague made a brief remark about how he had handled a task. A casual suggestion that things could have been done differently, that the result might have been better. The conversation shifted. The meeting ended. Everyone else had moved on within seconds, and the day continued. But for him, somehow the comment stayed. Lucas was driving home when it surfaced again. The exact words, the tone, the pause afterward. His hands tightened on the steering wheel. He replayed it in his head, not just once, but again and again. What he should have said, what he could have said, how he might say it tomorrow. By the time he reached home, the comment felt heavier than the entire day. He dropped his keys on the table and sat down, staring at nothing in particular. His mind kept working, even though his body was exhausted. He imagined conversations that hadn't happened yet, arguments that only existed in his head, versions of himself that sounded sharper, smarter, more confident. And with every imagined reply, his chest felt tighter. Later that evening, Lucas stepped outside onto the balcony, hoping the air would help clear his thoughts. That's when he noticed the elderly man from the neighboring apartment. Arthur. They had exchanged polite nods before, nothing more. Arthur was watering his plants slowly and unhurried, as if time had no claim on him. Lucas sighed without realizing it. Arthur looked up. "Long day?" he asked gently. Lucas hesitated, then nodded. "Yeah, one of those days where something small sticks in your head longer than it should." Arthur smiled faintly, as if he understood more than Lucas had said. That happens. Sometimes the mind wants closure, even when the moment has already passed. Lucas leaned against the railing. "I keep thinking about what I should have said. I don't even know why it matters so much." Arthur asked while gently watering his plants. "Can I tell you something I learned a long time ago?" Lucas nodded. Arthur spoke calmly. "Not everything needs a reaction, and not every silence is weakness." Lucas frowned slightly. "But if you don't respond, doesn't it feel like you're letting it slide?" Arthur chuckled softly. "It can feel that way, until you realize that reacting isn't always strength. Sometimes it's just the mind asking for noise. Ask yourself this: will responding bring peace, or just prolong the tension?" The question settled quietly between them. Lucas didn't answer right away. Arthur continued. "Proving a point feels powerful for a moment, but choosing calm, that stays with you. What if your peace is more important than being understood by everyone?" In that moment, Lucas looked out at the darkening sky, and he thought about how tired he felt, how much energy he'd already given to a single comment, how little space it deserved in his evening. His words helped him slow down his thoughts. He realized something simple, yet meaningful. He didn't owe the moment a reaction. He didn't need to win an imaginary argument. He didn't need to carry tomorrow what belonged to yesterday. That night, Lucas slept more easily than he expected. The next day at work, the comment didn't disappear completely, but it felt smaller. He chose calm, not because he was afraid to speak, but because he stopped asking it to be louder than it needed to be. And his head felt lighter and calmer. Sometimes, strength is not in reacting. It's in choosing what deserves your energy and what doesn't. And sometimes, the calmest choice is the one that sets you free.